Warmfloor Underfloor training video. Please note the following tools and materials are required for a complete installation. To prepare the floor and self-leveling compound, you'll require the following: a broom or vacuum cleaner, floor grinder, if required for paint overspray removal, a paint tray and roller, floor primer, water measuring jug, which is available from Payless Plastics, self-leveling compound, a 20-litre bucket available from Mitre 10, a suitable trowel at 400mm by 80mm, also available at Mitre 10, a door weather strip at 5.5mm from Mitre 10, a heavy-duty electric drill, and a compound stirrer. For the heating cable installation, you'll need a Warmfloor heating kit, suitably sized for the area to be heated, a 4-inch grinder, and hand tools. Floor preparation. Concrete floors must be completely cured as per the manufacturer's specifications. Timber floors must be covered with fibre cement, i.e. tile and slate underlay, prior to cable installation. Contaminant-free. Remove any contaminants from the floor surface. These may include dirt, plaster, glue or flaking materials. If the room has been spray painted, then often there is a layer of overspray around the walls. This must be removed with the use of a grinder. Cold tail location. The cold tail is a joint where the heated element is connected to a cold lead that can be pulled up through the wall cavity. Ideally, the cold tails are positioned directly below the thermostat location. It's essential that this joint can be accessed by removing a tile, so do not position it under a vanity or kitchen unit. Grind or chisel some grooves in the floor to accommodate both of the cold tails. The floor must now be thoroughly swept and vacuumed if necessary before applying the primer. Mix the floor primer to the manufacturer's specifications and apply to the surface with a paint roller. Be sure to cover all areas that the finished leveling compound will cover and not just the element's location. This surface must now be left to dry. How long this takes depends on the ambient air temperature. Helpful hint: if performing these works in winter, then it's a good idea to do this first stage the day or night before cable installation. This will save wasted time waiting for the floor to dry. Checking you've selected the correct size cable. Warmfloor's recommended method to ensure you've the correct size cable is to calculate the length of the cable required. To calculate this length, start marking out your cable spacings. We recommend a starting point of 150mm from a wall or 100mm from a toe space. Continue marking across the floor at 80mm spacings. For colder climates, this can be reduced down to 60mm to ensure more heat output. It's important to maintain the same spacing throughout the heated area to achieve an evenly heated floor. Using a tape measure, measure the length of each run. Multiply this length by the number of runs required in each section, and make note of each calculation. Add each section's calculation together, then add the width of the room by 2 to obtain the total length of the cable required. Check this length against the length printed on the cable box packaging. Ideally, the length of the cable chosen is slightly longer than what you have calculated. The length of cable required for this demonstration bathroom was 52.7 meters. However, the cable chosen was a 700 watt, which is only 51.7 meters. Deleting the cable run immediately in front of the bath gains an extra 3 meters, making the cable chosen approximately 2 meters longer than required. Should the cable you've selected be too long, recalculate your lengths with 60mm to 70mm spacings, and often the cable will fit using these revised measurements. It's extremely important to understand that the cable must never be cut to achieve the length you require. If the cable you have cannot be fitted using the spacing guidelines of 60 to 80mm, refer to your installation manual for other sizes available. Planning the cable route. When planning the cable route, there are several important factors to consider. The starting point will also be your finishing point. This is usually directly below the thermostat location. The cables must never be crossed. The cable cannot be put closer than 50mm apart. The cable cannot be cut or shortened under any circumstances. The cable must not be installed under any fixed furniture, vanities, kitchen units, etc. Please view the following examples of floor layouts showing where excess cable can be located. As your cable length should be slightly longer than required, it is important to consider where the excess cable can be located on the final run back to the thermostat. Laying the selected cable. In this demonstration video, the first cable run starts beside the bath and finishes at the opposite side of the room under the wall-hung vanity. Lightly spray some adhesive onto the cold tail grooves. Insert a rod inside the cable reel. Pull off 2 or 3 meters of cable. Install the first cold tail joint into the groove, ensuring it lays completely flat at least 50 millimeters from the wall. Secure with cloth tape. The cold tail must never be allowed to bend into the wall. Pull some more heating cable off the reel and fix to the floor with cloth tape, marking your way to the starting point of the first run up the room, ensuring you run the cable parallel to the wall. Using spray adhesive, lightly spray at each end of the room where the cables are to be looped. The purpose of the adhesive is to give the cloth tape extra adhesion to allow the cables to be pulled taut from each end of the room during installation. Continue running the cables up and down your planned route, fixing the cable securely at each end with cloth tape. When you reach the halfway point of the cable's length, you'll come across a white tag which indicates this. When nearing the end of the cable run, fix the second cold tail into its final position and lay out any excess cable into the predetermined location, in this instance under the vanity. The next step of the process is to spray adhesive at approximately every 400 millimeters. Allow 30 seconds for the spray to tack off and then apply cloth tape across the sprayed surface, moving your way down the room, ensuring the cable is pulled taut and maintaining even spacing. The reason for this is so that when applying the self-leveling compound, the cable will not float to the surface but will stay fixed to the floor. If you're installing the cable frequently, an alternative to the cloth tape is a sticky back mesh, which is also available from Warmfloor. The advantage of the sticky mesh is that it has a larger surface area, and being mesh, this allows for the self-leveling compound to absorb through. Check over the installation, apply a piece of cloth tape directly over any loose cables. Now that the cable has been securely fixed to the floor, remove the 2 sensor probes from the thermostat packaging. Attach these 2 sensor wires along with the 2 cold tail leads to the draw wire, which has been previously installed. Pull these cables up into the thermostat location. The sensor's head location must be midway between 2 cable runs. It's very important that the 2 cables chosen are spaced consistently, with the rest of the floor and a minimum of 200 millimeters out from the wall. Use a hammer and cold chisel to create a groove to ensure the sensor heads are recessed into the floor. Do final adjustments to the length of the cold tail and sensor cables and fix securely using cloth tape. Testing the installation prior to self-leveling compound. Connect the cable monitor provided. Attach the red and black leads to the cable's center conductors. Connect the green lead to the cable's exterior metal sheath. Switch the cable monitor on. Ensure that a green light appears and no warning sound is emitted. You can test the monitor's function by removing either the red or black lead and a warning sound will be heard. Once satisfied the monitor is working correctly, reconnect the lead. Cut the manufacturer's label from the cable box and put it into the flush box for future reference. Complete the warranty form provided on the back of the installation manual, recording important information like distance from showers and toilets, etc. This record should be kept by the homeowner. Find the caution label inside the cable box and affix this to the switch box location. We recommend that a warning sign be positioned by the cable monitor. This alerts other sub-trades to take necessary precautions. Self-leveling compound installation. The advantage of installing SLC is that it protects the cable from other sub-trades' mechanical damage. It also creates an even thermal mass and makes the replacement of damaged tiles a simple operation. Use a 5.5mm weather strip to control the areas where you wish the SLC to finish. Common areas to use this would be at the edge of a sloping wet area shower, where waste pipes protrude through the timber floor, and in doorways at the center of the closed doors location. Find a suitable location to mix the compound and by using an electric drill and stirrer, thoroughly mix the compound to manufacturer's specifications. Take the bucket of compound to the work area. Do not place this bucket directly onto the heating cables. Either place it outside of this area or onto a suitable medium, as buckets have sharp edges which could cut the cable. Plan your start and finish point. Pour a generous amount of compound where you're going to start. Make sure that the compound doesn't reach any walls, as this is achieved with a trowel. Using a large, smooth trowel to spread the compound evenly over the elements and to push the compound into the walls and corners for even coverage. Work quickly with the product, and until you're confident, place masking tape on shower trays or kitchen toe spaces to avoid unnecessary cleaning. Smooth the compound out, working your way to the exit. Make certain to compound unreachable places such as behind doorways, dishwashers, fridges, and pantry areas before it's too late. Once you've spread the compound with a trowel, go over with a spiky roller to ensure a perfect finish. Helpful hint: mix 2 or 3 buckets at a time if it's a large area, so the compound flows together evenly. Finally, wash all equipment with water and put a warning barrier out to prevent access to the wet floor. The leveling compound will dry in 4 hours depending on the temperature and is ready for tiling the next day. This concludes the Warmfloor video of a heating cable installation. The final electrical connection must be performed by a qualified electrician. These connection details may be found in the installation manual.